Hello and welcome back to Photo Walkthrough. Today I'm going to take a look at an image that I found on the Mac App Store. So this is a Mac only app, I'm sorry to you PC guys. But we're getting so many of these really cheap, very affordable, quick and easy apps that do one simple job. I figured it was about time I started taking a look at them. So today I'm going to take a look at an app called Color Splash Studio. And what this does is this gives you what they call color splash images, which are those black and white images where you've got just a portion of the image in color. So let's start off by loading an image. And in this case I want this one here, which has got lots of lovely colour in it. So the first thing it does, of course, because we're going to work with a black and white image and we're going to paint the colour in, is it makes this black and white conversion. So we can start off, we've got a bunch of tools across the top here. We can zoom in and out, and we've got some saving and sharing buttons fitting to the screen and actual size. So if I hit actual size, you can see that we can zoom in on the image, and if I hit the space bar, nice to see them supporting Photoshop style keyboard shortcuts. I can click the spacebar and drag around the image, and I can go fit back to screen. And we've got a side-by-side comparison as well if we want to see how our image is looking. And we've got some big buttons on the left here for painting in colour, painting in grayscale, and panning around, which is that hand tool. So I'm going to paint some colour in on those eyes, and if I use the scroll wheel I can actually zoom in and out, and you can see that that's actually going to make it a lot easier to paint those eyes, which is what I'm going to paint in now. So I've just used another keyboard shortcut that's a Photoshop keyboard shortcut. Really pleased to see this being used. The square bracket keys make the brush bigger and smaller, and we've also got a softness slider, and unfortunately the keyboard shortcut for Photoshop doesn't work with that one. The shift square bracket keys don't make the softness go up and down. But if I now paint over those eyes, you can see we're painting the colour back in. Now I've overshot a little bit there, so we need to go back to the grayscale brush and just paint that back in. Now one of the nice touches about this particular program is that this is not just a paintbrush. This is actually an edge detecting brush, and what it's doing is it's figuring out what colours to paint back in based on what colour the centre of the brush is going over. So it's going to try and avoid painting outside of lines for us, which works quite well. So that's not bad. We can see that we've already got a nice little colour element in the image there. If we wanted just the eyes coloured in, that would work quite nicely. But I think we've got a bit more interesting colour on this image that we can do. So let's do the hair as well. We'll make our brush quite a bit bigger for this. And paint that lovely red on the hair in as well. And we're going to get some skin there because of course the skin tone is quite close to the hair tone. So there we go. I can of course zoom in, and I just accidentally clicked on the face there. Let's undo that. I can zoom in and I can now tidy up those edges with my brush and take those bits of hair that I could spend a lot longer on this. I'm not going to, because I don't want to keep you guys sitting around waiting. You just want to get a flavour. This is obviously not a great job I'm doing here, but you get the idea. And if you spent a bit of time with this, you could get some very tidy looking results if this is the kind of image you want to make. I should mention, by the way, at this point, it's no big secret, I'm not a big fan of these selective desaturated color images. I think this is been done now, but if it is something you like and you want to do, this particular tool might give you just what you need. So again, let's assume that I'd done a better job there. That's not bad at all. We've got zooming in and out with the zoom wheel. This is all going to be very familiar to Photoshop users, and best of all, I was really pleased to see that it actually supports the Wacom graphics tablet. So if you've got a Wacom tablet and you're used to using pressure sensitivity, then you can use the pressure sensitivity on your graphics tablet with this application. What it will control is the size of your brush, not the opacity. I wish it did opacity, but it doesn't. So maybe for next version. This is only version 1 after all. Lots and lots of things it could do. we have also got, by the way, some controls down here. So if I was to just zoom back out, you can see we've got a big black and white area and some color areas, and we've got sliders for the color layer, so I can control the brightness of the color, and I can control the contrast of those color areas, and blur if I want to. I can blur them out, and saturation and hue and exposure, which is a slightly different version of brightness. Now on grayscale we've got the same things. We've got brightness, contrast and blur. I can brighten or darken the grayscale area, likewise for contrast and blur. But now we're starting to see one of the first problems I have with this application. These sliders are very, very rough. You can't really do much in the way of fine adjustments. Even the plus and minus buttons don't go up in 1s, they go up in 3s or 4s. And these are just too strong. I want to be able to have much finer control over these things. So it's no good giving me a black and white image and then not giving me the control to tweak the contrast and brightness. And I just don't have the control here. It's just these sliders are not way too sensitive, and I don't particularly like the algorithm they're using for brightness and contrast either. I like the ideas, but these need a lot more tweaking before this is useful. And there's another big feature missing for an application that concerns itself almost exclusively with making black and white images. I've got no control at all over the color mix that is used to create the black and white version. Now I'm not suggesting that we go as far as what Lightroom has in it, where we can use sliders for each individual color and mix them up and down, but at least give us the option to say, for example, I want a black and white conversion using a red filter or an orange filter or something, or a green filter, so that we can have some control over how the black and white tones come out in the black and white version, and then let us do the color over the top. If somebody wants to use this to make one of these images, they're going to want to be able to make a good one. And that's the irony of this, is that the results from this, if you spend the time and take the care, are actually very good. It produces really nice output, and it's not at all a second-rate result. But just more control in the application. I want to have control over the black and white mix. I want to have much better sliders that actually give me much more control. I'd love it if we could do a little bit of dodge and burn, but I know that's overcomplicating things. This application is it's cheap. It does one job. It does it quite well. There's room for improvement. It is very cheap. But it is not something that is useful on its own. You're going to need another application to prepare your images and stuff in as well. It really only does this one thing, this color splash thing where you paint in the color. So if that sounds useful to you, it's extremely affordable. You can go and find it on the App Store. It's called Color Splash Pro, Color Splash Studio, sorry. And I hope you have fun with it. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.
Photo Walkthrough is a free online video show about photography and digital photo editing using Photoshop and Lightroom. Please help support the show by using our sponsors' promo codes or by passing the promo codes on to your friends. Join the Photo Walkthrough community, find all the old shows, and subscribe to the new ones for free at photowalkthrough.com.